My name is Riley, and this is my individual project. I'm going to start off with the three key principles of the textbook that I took to heart and that was the most impactful. The first one is chapter 2 called Values and Attitudes. This was on page 26 of the textbook, and the description of this chapter is that employee participation is a workplace attitude that motivates employees to be intentional with their work, and attitudes and values directly affect a variety of organizational outcomes and should be monitored for improved performance in the company. And the application to my career Nothing Bundt Cakes is that they should monitor attitudes and values within the organization and be able to identify places of improvement so that peak work performance can be achieved effectively. The second principle is found in chapter 7 and it's over positive organizational behavior. And this was on page 79, and the description is that positive organizational behavior fosters thriving environments through techniques like valuing positivity, mindfulness, and promoting well-being. And this all creates positive organizational climates for optimal productivity. And this applies to Nothing Bundt Cakes because positive leadership fosters a respectful, productive climate, motivating bakery employees to follow proper food handling practices. And my last principle is found in chapter 15, and it goes over organizational design, innovation, and effectiveness. This is found on page 165. The description of this chapter is that knowledge of organizational design, effectiveness, innovation gives you the ability to help both you and an organization to achieve desired goals. And the application to Nothing Bundt Cakes is that Nothing Bundt Cakes will be most efficient if they optimize organizational design in both financial resources and human resources. And whenever they respond to failure in a way that promotes learning instead of reprimanding, this can enhance the employee relationship and success within the company, which will be very beneficial for Nothing Bundt Cakes. Next, we're going to transition to three leaders from my bakery industry worldwide and I'm going to just kind of describe what they do and how they are a leader, and these are very impactful examples for me for whenever I want to go to be a baker one day. The first leader I want to discuss is Jill Bistodeau, and she's the Director of Human Resources with Nothing Bundt Cakes. And what had made her a leader in Nothing Bundt Cakes is her expertise. Her experience from previous roles include South Metro Federal Credit Union, Texan Consulting, Lifetime Fitness, and a couple different gyms. And this corporate experience gave her competitive advantage over other people that were probably applying for the job because she obviously got the job. And she also holds a bachelor's degree in psychology, which is kind of cool. So she definitely has the education, persistency, and a robust skill set that includes team building, screening, human resources, new hire orientations, staffing services, and all these are very useful for the human resource department. So it's definitely qualifies her to be in charge of everyone within that department. Second leader I want to discuss is Brooke Bellamy. She's the owner of Brookie Bakehouse in Australia, and she is opening different more locations of Brookie Bakehouse around everywhere. And her key thing is that she ships stuff across the world. So what makes her a leader within it, in my opinion, was that she has a very specific and tailored drive towards uniqueness and trying to differentiate her organization. So her dream of owning a bakery, as well as her desire to create a bakery that was set apart from other bakeries, showed off her creative edge that is so useful and critical for being a leader in her company, and this has rewarded her a competitive advantage for success of the bakery because it is growing and it's getting larger. And the third leader of the bakery industry that I want to go over is Sarah and Kyle, and they are the founders of the Cookie Bar located in Colleyville, my hometown. So they're definitely the founders and owners of a very small family-owned bakery, which is kind of what I want to get to. And I believe what makes them leaders of their organization is their courage to step into a job set that they didn't really consider for themselves for a while and seek to be global, seek to be successful. So their courage to quit their jobs and to pursue this dream is the courage that makes them great leaders. Because if you don't have courage in your company or belief in your company, then you're not a great leader. But they had both of those, and they definitely strive to be global and they strive to grow. So their belief, they see the belief, they believe in their company. So that's a very important aspect of being a leader. Next, I'm going to go over some case studies that were the most impactful from the school year. The first case study is positive impact of positive reinforcement technique in food service operation. And the description of this is that the pat on the back, the PFL implemented the pat on the back program where associates uses the pat on the back slips to publicly recognize peers' efforts, reinforcing desired behavior. And the main takeaways of this was that the program improved food service associate engagement and morale and increased patient satisfaction with staff courtesy. And the case study suggests that other companies should participate in positive reinforcement objectives to improve the company. And the application of Nothing Bundt Cakes is that the positive reinforcement among Nothing Bundt Cake workers cultivates motivation and improves performance over time. The second case study is the assessment of safety culture maturity in the food industry. And this paper that the case study was over assessed the maturity degree of the safety culture of multinational food industry in Brazil. And the main takeaways I took was that occupational safety and health are ongoing concerns for many organizations, especially for economic sectors like the food industry. An established safety culture is essential to support the development and successful progress of any safety management program. And lastly, the implementation of an organizational culture focused on safety requires a holistic view that goes beyond the technical aspects of the activity. And this applies to Nothing Bundt Cakes because they should monitor the maturity of their company, the maturity of their company's safety culture to have continuous improvement in cultivating a safe workplace. And the last case study I pulled from was the procedure of organizational design of a process approach in food industry enterprises. This was about the present work was carried out in the provincial food industry enterprise of Pinar del Rio with the purpose of processing a procedure for organizational design of a process approach that contributes to better organizational management. And the main takeaways that I took away from this was that organizational design is becoming more and more relevant since it is necessary to achieve greater effectiveness and efficiency in organizations and optimizing not only material and financial resources, but also human resources. And lastly, for the empirical diagnosis, a methodology was applied to characterize the organizational design process in the enterprise. And the application of Nothing Bundt Cakes is that the procedure established the stages and steps for organizational design with a process approach to the entity under study, which will contribute to optimize resources to ensure greater efficiency and effectiveness. The last section of this presentation is over the do's and don'ts of being a manager, just in general through this course. And my 3 do's is that they should provide, the first do is that they should provide feedback outlets for employees to utilize, so that as managers we can work for the best interests of them and allow them to feel heard so they can boost their employee engagement and productivity. And I also believe that whenever managers respond to employee failures, they should do so in a learning aspect instead of a reprimanding one, to build morale and a positive workplace while also improving their working ability. The second do is that they should establish a set mission and vision for the company and apply an organizational design that aligns with the mission and vision so it can be all united. And I also believe that they should prioritize positive organizational behaviors and design so that the workplace will be a welcoming and caring one. And the last do is that the ultimate role model and displaying work appropriate attitudes and ethics and approach conflict professionally. And the 3 don'ts that I kind of pulled from this course was that the first one is that they shouldn't selectively follow rules, or the staff will do the same. So it shouldn't be a do as I say, not as I do situation, that if they have solid procedures in place, they should follow it as well as they want their staff to follow it so they can be the ultimate role models. The second don't is that I don't they shouldn't treat transitions within the company and changes as a simple process, because there will be resistance, and this will help them if they don't respond to it in if they respond to it in a simple way. Their employees will definitely not feel cared for. As a whole, and the last element is that they shouldn't degrade others or employees and use negative reinforcement to get desired results, because through this course we learned that positive reinforcement definitely boosts up the motivation to do well within an organization. And thank you for listening.